Okay, let's try it again.
Do it. I love it.
Okay, ready for the finger? There you go.
We are. No, I love it.
Together.
I'm gonna say it too. Don't you?
We're just gonna keep running.
Okay.
We are Lost Peacock Creamery!
Up here you see Brutus. He was hatched out by Bill. He was one of the farm eggs that were hatched out. And then over here you'll see Bruno, and Bruno is the top dog. He's been on the farm for quite a while, and all the girls are around him. He's scratching right now. He rules the roost. There he is. Yep, there's a bunch of his girls.
He's the pretty one, unfortunately. The males are always the prettiest.
Yes, and they definitely have rooster fights, not too bad, but they have established territory, and he lost. Brutus lost, but he's a beauty, aren't you, Brutus? But he will attack dogs, not viciously yet, not to be trusted.
So I've been deserted. Everybody has something to do, so I'm going to talk to you about chickens. We originally started raising chickens at Lost Peacock, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago. It's been that long. And eventually our little project grew to about over 100 chickens. I think at one time we had 125. And then it kind of got out of hand, and other projects, and lost chickens to coyotes, and you know, life has a way of changing plans. So we're back again. Now we're in the area that's designated the orchard. It's all fenced off with 5-foot wire, and right now we've got about 30 chickens. We're going to be incubating more in January, February, and March. So I would guess we'll be up over 50 or 60 by, I don't know, by spring. Anyway, this is the area where the chickens are. We've blocked them off with that fence. I think you can see the fence there from the butterfly garden. We don't want them in that while we're growing that, while we're making the hugelkultur. So they've got this area, which is quite a bit. I mean, come on, it goes all the way down to the green fence post down there. So it's a good home for 25-30 chickens. This huge coop here was part of the original activity, whatever I said, 7 or 8 years ago. And they've got 2 roosting ladders, as you can see, and they use those, almost all of them use it, and I hope you can see, but a lot of nesting boxes. Interesting thing about chickens is they all use just about the same nesting box. So yeah, you could get away with 3 nesting boxes and you'd probably be fine. In fact, our chickens literally stand in line to use 1 or 2 of the nesting boxes. Anyway, we've got from the roof, the water flows into that tank right there. And this is the other, just a second, Maggie eats everything. This is the other coop we built, and oddly enough, chickens have never used this. Not sure why. Anyway, it's a standard, you know, you can reach it from the front. They've got their door there, and then the nesting boxes are there. But chickens don't use it. I have no clue why, but that's just the way it is. And then this is the other coop, and actually a few chickens do use this. And if we end up with a brooding hen, we'll put her in there and we can lock her up and she can brood to her heart's content in there. But anyway, some chickens do lay their eggs there. It's handy. If you want to separate chickens, like new chickens to the flock, you can separate them in there for a few days and they can get acclimated to the area. And this thing here is like a mobile, kind of a mobile coop. We don't lock them in there, but we will move it around during the summer so they can eat from the grass, and it provides shade during the summer. It really came in handy. I'm not sure how attractive it is, but it serves a purpose. And so, oh, and the other thing we used that for was for meat chickens. We raised about 40 meat chickens this summer, and they pretty much stayed to themselves in there. Meat chickens do not move around a lot. They're bred to gain weight rapidly, and so that's what they all hung out there. And then when they were ready to be processed, we just grabbed them one at a time and went up and processed them. But all these other chickens are laying hens, with the exception of the 2 roosters that you were introduced to. Yeah, so those are our plans with the chickens. If you're going to do backyard chickens, and maybe I'll do a separate video on this, but backyard chickens, in the city you can have 5 hens. Or, I mean, if you want a rooster, but good luck, you're going to get in trouble. But 5 hens, and we had them in town, and for a coop, we basically had this design, except like cut it in half. We made our coop out of used used pallets. We screwed 3 pallets together, and then on the front facing wall was a sheet of plywood, and we cut a door in it, and we made the plywood on hinges so you could raise everything, or just open up the door, and that would work. So you don't have to spend a lot of money to raise chickens. That pallet coop that we made cost, you know, basically the sheet of plywood, and that was it. And this one here, 1, 2, 3, I think that was made out of 5 sheets of plywood, 6 sheets of plywood, and that's, I mean, it's held up pretty well considering this. It's been there 5 or 6 years. Could use a new coat of paint, but the inside is still dry. All you need to do is keep the chickens out of a serious draft, and they get through the winter quite fine. Keep them dry, keep them out of a draft, keep them in food, and give them a place to nest, and that's it. Chickens kind of take care of themselves. They handle all kinds of weather fairly well. And so this is our chicken enclosure right now. Can the chickens get out? Yeah, if you look real closely, there's 2 chickens standing at the gate right now trying to get back in. They can't figure out how to get back in. Don't let anyone tell you that chickens are real smart. Those chickens flew over the gate, or over the fence, and now they can't figure out how to get back in. But we love them. We do love them. Tip to the wise, chickens are very tame if you handle them. Just a second, hold on. Maggie, come here. I'm sorry. Get over here. Maggie will eat everything if I let her. Get over here. Chickens will be very tame if you handle them from the time they're chicks. So, you know, 2-day-old chicks, just pick them up every day and hold them for a while, and they'll get used to the human print. And if you continue to handle them as they grow past pullet age and into the hen age, they'll be very tame. These chickens have not been handled. They're solely for eggs. But the ones we incubate in January and February and March, we're going to handle them as much as possible. So there you go, the chickens at Lost Peacock Creamery. My name's Bill, Grandpa Bill. And if you like what you see, like and subscribe, or share, and leave comments. If you got questions about raising chickens, we've been doing this. Like Matt said in another video, this farm is a graveyard of bad ideas. We've tried everything, and that's how we figure out what works. We try everything, and eventually we get to the point where something works. So like, subscribe, share. Thanks for stopping by. and we'll see you later in the next video.
At Lost Peacock Creamery, we believe goats deserve to be goats, living in family groups, grazing outdoors, and thriving in robust social communities. As a family-owned, grade A goat dairy, we're animal welfare approved and deeply committed to the land we farm on.